the alternatives here in our textbook, we always talk about the MEAS. What is that? That is the mutually exclusive alternatives. Okay, so which means the selection of one alternative excludes the consideration of any other alternative. So if you choose one, you cannot choose the other. That's what we call MEAS. MEAS. Okay, and so usually we want to select a project, equipment, or option to fulfill a specific need. For example, we want to travel from our home to our workplace, and then we travel back. So that's the goal, right? That's the specific need. And so how do we travel? How do we finish the trip? Well, we can use different modes of transportation. So we can try the bicycle, right? And the bicycle is cheaper and also it's healthier, but it's very slow compared to the scooter and the car, right? Um, and bicycle is also limited by the distance. If you live like 20 miles away from your workplace, then maybe bicycle is not a good option. Maybe scooter is a good option, but right? And so there are many, factors you need to consider which modes you want to choose. We will talk about those factors later. Okay. Typically, different investment alternatives require different levels of capital, right? Like the bicycle is cheaper, scooter is in the medium range of cost, but the car is like more expensive than the two of the other options. So the capital investment is different, and they will have different expense and revenue streams. So expense for the three modes of transportation, it will be the maintenance cost. For the bicycle, I think it's as long as it works and you don't break it, it will work because it's like a mechanical stuff to power the vehicle. But the scooters compared to the bicycle, the scooter may need some maintenance. You might need to bring it to the shop and then let them to check the wheels, the alignment, and the battery if it's a electrical scooter, right? And you want to check the lights, the mirrors, all that kind of stuff to make sure it is functioning, right? And then so that's kind of expense for maybe every 3 months or whatever mileage. And then the cars, well, for the cars, you know that for a certain mileage, you have to bring it back to the shop and then to the dealer and then have a maintenance appointment, right? And you also need to, clean it, you wash it, and you need to protect it from the sun, the heat, and the storm, right? You need a garage. So that's all the expenses related to a car, to the use of a car. And the revenue streams, well, talking about the benefits, so bicycles first, it doesn't need any, gasoline or electricity. So basically, you just power your bicycle by yourself. So its cost for operation almost zero. So that's a big saving, right? You can see saving as a revenue. And also, it has health benefits, right? It keeps you exercise, and then you are healthier, and then your medical cost will be lower. So that's a kind of saving as well. You can also see it as a revenue. But scooters, while scooters move faster than the bicycle, so you can travel more efficiently between your home and the workplace. So the time saving is kind of benefit or revenue as well. And And also, if you are not physically feasible for riding a bike, right? So you can by using a scooter, you will be more mobile than using a bicycle. So that's also another kind of revenue you can think of. So talking about cars, the revenue is also very obvious. First, it's faster, right? So it can save much more time, and time saving can be a revenue. And also, it's comfortable, right? It gives you the shelter from the rain, from the snow, from the cold, from the heat. So the comfort you get from the car is also another type of revenue. You can quantify it to some monetary values. Okay, so these are the expenses and revenues you want to consider if you want to choose from the three options. And also, they may have different useful lives, right? So bicycle, I don't know, depends on how well you maintain them. The useful life could be different. So bicycle, maybe it's like 10 years. I really don't know. I have no idea. And then, well, the scooters maybe longer, and the cars maybe even longer. Well, I really don't know like exactly how long the useful life for each of them, it's very intuitive for us to understand that the useful lives could be different. Okay, so something can be used for a long time, and the other thing could be worn out very quickly. So when you make decisions between multiple alternatives, we need to consider all these different scenarios. So, but the fundamental purpose of a capital investment. So, when we talk about choosing options, we usually want to decide which usually we will have a capital investment at the beginning for each of them. Okay, so something is cheaper, something is more expensive. That's different levels of capital investment you're gonna make. To obtain at least the MAR for every dollar invested, that's the goal. That's the purpose of a capital investment. So you wanna make each dollar you spent at the beginning worthy. Okay, which means you can gain or make profit out of every single dollar you spend at the beginning, and you want to make the profit at least at the MARR. One basic rule: so spend the least amount of capital unless the extra capital can be justified by the extra savings or benefits. So if all options can reach the same goals, well, you basically want to spend the least amount as possible. That's very natural to understand, right? We always want to spend less. We always want to bargain or negotiate for a cheaper price, because the more money we save, we can reinvest them in another option, right? So that's easy to understand. And in other words, any increment of capital spent must be able to pay its own way. So if somebody asks for a more expensive price, he or she, the better to give you a good reason why you want to spend one more dollar. And usually that one more dollar expense needs to be justified by some future savings or profit. Okay. And the base alternative is the acceptable alternative that requires the least amount of investment capital. Okay, so if we need to spend capital investment in the beginning, and we can earn some profits or savings in the future time, and we want to make sure that that if we convert all the cash flow back to the present time or a future time or annuity, we want to have the lowest level of expenditure. So that's how we can choose which alternative is better than the other one.